Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Teacher Ryan and we are now in episode 6 in our Subject-Verb Agreement exercise. So today we're going to talk about collective and uncountable nouns. So before anything else, if you're new here in my channel, don't forget to give me a thumbs up or click the notification down below or click to subscribe. So let's begin. So what do you mean by collective and uncountable nouns? So when you talk about collective, we're referring to the group of something or someone. For example, like a group of uh, lions, okay, or group of wolves, or a pack of wolves, no, or family, committee. So we're referring to a unit or a group. Now we're talking about when we talk about uncountable nouns, these are things that cannot be counted from the word un. So later on, we'll find out what are collective words and what are uncountable words. So I have here 10 sentences containing collective nouns and uncountable nouns. So we will be looking at the subject and how the subject agrees with the verb. Now let's begin. So the group stands firm on this issue. The word group is a collective noun. So you have to take note that though some collective nouns do not end in S, but once you analyze them in the sentence, whether they are working as a group or in unity, or are they working individually. But if the group works together in unity, so the verb is singular. But the group works differently, so the verb is plural. So let's analyze whether this group works together or not. If they work together, that is singular. If they work differently, that is plural. Okay? So the group stands firm on this issue. So do you think that the group works together by being firm on this issue? Yes. So basically the group is our subject as a collective noun and the verb is singular. So singular verb that ends in S. Rice are the staple food of Asians. 5 sacks of rice were delivered by the NFA. NFA in the Philippines is the National Food Authority, where sacks of rice are actually delivered to different cities, right? So rice is not a collective, but it is considered as uncountable noun because there are too many of them. The grains, there are much of them. So once a countable noun is used in the sentence without unit, for example, sacks, no, they are singular. So rice is our subject. It's an uncountable noun. Uncountable noun without the units is considered singular. Now, our verb is the staple food of Asians. Staple food, the common food of Asians. 5 sacks of rice were delivered by the NFA. So here we have 5 sacks unit of rice. So once they are placed in a sack, so basically they become plural. How depends on if it is one sack, singular, plural sacks. Okay, so basically 5 sacks of rice is a plural phrase. So it requires a plural verb. Next, number 3. The rich gets richer, the poor gets poorer. So there is a rule. Once a adjective functions as a subject, as a noun, it is considered plural. Okay? So the rich is an adjective functioning as a noun in the subject slot, so it is plural. So the rich is our subject and our verb, it does not end in S. So the rich get richer, the poor, right? So that is an adjective functioning as a subject, the poor get her. Okay. Next, number 4. Buko juice is a uncountable noun. Is are not enough to quench our thirst. So buko juice is our subject, is our verb. The flock of birds is our flying south of Manila. So the flock of birds is actually a collective. And let's look at if this collective functions as a unit, in unity or differently. So do you think that the flock of birds um, having a one direction of flying to the south? Yes. So basically the flock of birds is our subject singular and it requires a singular verb is. Alright, next, the crowd at the game is are huge. The crowd begins to shout and dance on the stadium. So the crowd is a collective noun. Let's look if they are working in unity. The crowd at the game are huge. So there's only one huge crowd, and the word crowd here is our subject, is our verb because they are one huge crowd. Okay, now let's look at how they behave in the stadium. The crowd begins to shout and dance on the stadium. Do you think that they shout and dance together? I don't think so. Maybe some of them are shouting, some of them are dancing. So basically the crowd behave differently at the stadium, on the stadium. So the crowd here is plural and our verb is plural. Okay. Next, the committee submits its report, so they are working together. Okay, so the committee here is our subject, and they work together, so that becomes singular. So submits. The committee members signs their names. So here they have different signatures. They work differently by signing their names. And so once it is signed differently, the subject, the committee members, plural, and it requires a plural verb. So plural verb, it does not end in S. Very good. Next, these bottles of gasoline are not sufficient to fuel my tricycle. Fuel is are expensive these days. So now, the bottles of gasoline is a collective noun with the unit bottles. Without the bottles, only the gasoline, that becomes a uncountable noun. Uncountable noun functions as singular. Once there is a unit, for example, bottles of gasoline, sack of rice, um, 1 tablespoon of sugar, or tablespoons of sugar are. Okay, so here it has a unit. These bottles of gasoline is our subject as plural, and it requires a plural verb. So are not sufficient to fuel my tricycle. Fuel is an uncountable noun, so this is singular, and our verb is also singular. Next, number 9. The board of directors are turning down the proposal. So do you think all of them turning down the proposal? Yes, because they work together. So the board of directors is our singular subject because of the board as collective noun, and our verb is. Okay? However, the board of directors does not agree with each other. So in the second sentence, they are now behaving differently because they do not agree with each other. So the board of directors here becomes plural, and our verb is do not, plural, because they work differently. Lastly, his family are from Bataan. Bataan is one of the places here in the Philippines. His family are getting haircuts today. So his family, so referring just within the family, it is called a family. But there's such thing as families. So my family and other family. we are having different families. But if you're referring only to a group of people in the family, whether you are many of them, but you're referring as a unit there, as a collective noun. So let's look at how you behave in the family. So his family is from Bataan. So all of them working together, living in Bataan. So that is singular. So his family is a singular subject and our verb because they work together. They are living in Bataan, from Bataan. So our verb is is. His family are getting haircuts today. So this here another word for family. They have different haircuts. Do you think they will have the same haircut? No. Male and female usually do not have the same haircuts. Okay. So his family is our subject and our verb is plural. His family is plural because they have different haircuts. So since they have different haircuts, our verb is are. Okay? So that's it. If you have any questions regarding on this exercise, so please don't forget to give your comments below for suggestions and recommendations. So in conclusion, collective and uncountable nouns are actually nouns that can be as a group, working as a unit, singular, or working differently, plural, and a countable noun without the units, so it's considered as singular. But once they are already more than two or more than one, so that becomes a plural. So thank you for watching. I hope you have learned something today. And of course, don't forget to subscribe this video and gives me a big thumbs up. Thank you so much and see you in the next episode. Bye. God bless.